Hello guys, welcome back. This is Crochet. If you're new here, welcome to this channel, and please don't forget to subscribe to me, like and share this video. So in this tutorial, I'll be making this shell stitch skirt. So let's get right into this tutorial. So before we dive into this tutorial, I want to talk about this yarn. This yarn is an acrylic fiber yarn. Basically, this is a Yeye Nigeria, and this is a 40-gram weight yarn. So what I did was I wind two colors together. As you can see, we have a yellow color, a mustard yellow color, and an orange color here. So I just wind them together using my yarn winder. So I want to work with two colors of yarn, so that was easier for me to just use my yarn winder to get that. So yeah, so it's not compulsory, you can decide to work with just one strand. So but this is a regular yarn, it's not an extraordinary yarn. I just had to go an extra mile to get what I want. So this is what I want to work with. So yeah, and if you're familiar with my work here on YouTube, you will know that I double yarns for the most part of my tutorials because of the weight of yarn I use. So it was easier for me to double both colors together to achieve this. Let's get right into the tutorial. So for a start, I will be needing my measurement. So basically the only measurement that is really important is your hips measurement, and this is mine, and the length of the skirt, right? So this is my measurement basically. So I'll be working with my hips measurement for a start, which is 43 inches. So let's begin with my hips measurement. So to do that, I'll start by creating a slip knot as usual, and I will make a chain long enough to fit into 43 inches. So you make a chain long enough to fit into 43 inches. So you make a chain. So since we are going to be joining our chains, what I do is I go in with my yarn from this other side. So when I'm joining it, it will still give me a straight chain, right? So you just go in with your yarn from the very first chain you started with and continue your chain with your yarn still holding on to the first chain. So I'm going to make a chain long enough to fit into 43 inches. So if your hips measurement is 30, you can go ahead and make a chain long enough to fit into 30. If it's 50, go ahead and make a chain long enough to fit into 50. So whatever your hips measurement is, that's what you're going to be working with for the first part of this tutorial. So continue doing that till you get to the point where it will fit into your hips measurement. I'm just going to measure this to be sure that this is my exact measurement. So since my hips is 43, I'm going to make a chain long enough to fit into 21.5. right? So I am okay, so this is 21.5 as you can see here. Let me take my hands off. Okay, this is 21.5, and 21.5 plus 21.5 will give me 43, right? So to join this together, I'm just going to go in with this loop to the loop where we have our hook hooked in all along. So I'm just going to go in there and then chain one. So successfully join our chains together. So the reason why I did 21.5 because this chain on this other side is 21 and the one on this other side is 21. Since I joined the chain, so that was why I had to do 21.5 in case you're confused. So yeah, so you're not going to chain 43 because we have the chain, because if you split this open and leave it to be straight, it will give you 43, right? So since we have joined this together, so we have 1.5 on this side, 21.5 on this side. I don't know if I have explained that better enough for you to understand, but that is what I did here. So moving on to the very first row of this tutorial. So for the first part of the tutorial, this is what I'm trying to achieve, right? I'm trying to achieve this part before we get right into the shell stitch part of the tutorial. So we are going to be working on the upper parts, the part that is going to cover our butt. So this is a part we'll be working on for the first part of the tutorial, and I have successfully created a chain that is going to aid us in making this part of this tutorial. So the stitch I use basically is a double crochet stitch. So that was the stitch I used. Let me split this open so you will see. So I made this skirt sometime around this time last year. So yeah, so this is what we are doing basically. So let's get right into the tutorial. So to begin our first row, I'm going to start by going all around the chain with a double crochet like I have explained already. So I remember I chained one here already when I connected our chain, so I'll just proceed from there. So I'm just going to yarn over and go right into the points where our chain one is connected with a double crochet. So moving forward, I'm just going to double crochet in every chain here all the way around till we get back to this point. So yarn over, go into the next loop with a double crochet, go into the next loop with a double crochet. So double crochet all the way around till you get back to the point where we started. So the first part of the tutorial is straightforward, no increase, no decrease, just straightforward double crochet all the way around. So basically this is what you're going to do all the way till you get to this point. Double crochet in every loop all the way till you get back to this point. I'm at the end of the first row, so I'm just going to go right into the top here with a slip stitch to end the row. But before you do that, you're going to make sure the chain is straight just like this. Yeah, the both sides they're actually facing each other, opposite direction, straight and all. The back side facing opposite direction, and the good side or the better side facing the top part. So you're just going to make sure of that before you end this round. So you're just going to go into the very first chain there with a slip stitch to end the row. So successfully ended the row. So moving on to the next part is just a repetition of the first round. So I'm going to start by chaining one and go right into the point where our chain one is connected with a double crochet. So I am going to double crochet all the way around into every loop. So basically for this first part of the tutorial, we are going to be repeating row 1. So no increase, no decrease, just keep double crocheting all the way till you get to the length you want. So 25 rows was okay to cover my butt area, like from the point A to the down part to cover my butt area. Let me explain that. So this is what I'm trying to explain. 25 rows from this point here down here, and this is long enough to cover my butt area. So I did a total of 25 rows. So I just kept double crocheting all the way around till I got to this point. So that's what you're going to do. So you will take a measurement of how long you want the upper parts, this part that covers your butt. You're going to take a measurement of how long you want this part to be. So you're going to do that, and you make a double crochet all the way around till you get to the point. So you're going to make as many rows as you think is okay to fit into the parts, to this upper parts, or bigger or long enough to cover your upper parts. So just keep double crocheting all the way till you get to the end where you feel it's okay for you, or it has covered your butt properly. Then you can end there, or if you want it longer, you can just go ahead and extend. But my 25 rows was okay to do that. So this is a total of 25 rows from point A to point B, 25 rows, and that was long enough to cover my butt basically. So that's what I'm trying to explain. So basically you're just going to double crochet all the way around till you get to the length you want. So just keep repeating row 1, double crochet all the way around. When you get to this point, you end the round, chain 1, double crochet all the way around so you get to this point, all the way around till you get to the length you want, so that you know it's long enough to fit into your board, just like I have explained. So just keep doing that. I will meet you when I get my exact length. So I'm already at the end of my first part of the tutorial. So this is a total of 25 rows from point A to point B. So the next part will be a shell stitch. That's the down part where it will extend down to our ankle area. So let's get right into the next part of the tutorial. So this is the next part of the tutorial that we are going to be working on, this part here. All right, so we are going to be diving right into the shell stitch part of the tutorial. So let's get right into that. So to begin that, I'm going to start by chaining 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll go right into the point where a chain 7 is connected with a double crochet. That's to create a V stitch. So I have successfully created a first V stitch. So moving on, I'm going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to be skipping 6 stitch, and I'll place a V stitch on the 7th stitch. So this is what I mean. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the 7th stitch here, I'm going to place a V stitch there. 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and go right into that same space with 1 double crochet. So this is what we are going to be doing for the first row of the second part of this tutorial. So moving on, we are going to chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I will count 6 stitch, and on the 7th I'm going to be placing another V stitch. So yarn over, count 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the 7th you place a V stitch. So you go in there with 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and go into that same space with another double crochet. So I'm going to do this one more time. So this is what it should look like at this point. So moving on, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yarn over, count 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the 7th here you're going to go in with a V stitch. So 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go into that same space with 1 double crochet. So you're going to do this all the way around till you get to this point. I'll meet you at the end here. So chain 7, so I am at the end here already. So we have few stitch here left, so I'm just going to skip all stitch. I already chained 7 here, so I'm going to skip all stitch here and count 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th here I'm just going to go in there. Remember we started with 7, so I'll count 3, and on the 4th here you just go into the 4th chain here with a slip stitch to end the round. So this is what it should look like at this point. So moving on to the next part of the skirt, right? So what we are going to do is we are just going to go in here with a slip stitch till we get right into the middle. So we are at the middle at this point, so I'm just going to start by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll go right into this with 3 more double crochet, right? So I'm just going to go in here, 1, go in there, 2, and go in there, 3, right? So we have 3 double crochet at this point right now. So moving on, I'm going to count 3 chains from a chain 7. So you count 3, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th here you go in with a single crochet. So I will skip the next 3 stitch and go right into the next V stitch with 7 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So the reason why I started with 4 double crochet here, I chained 3 count as a stitch here, so I added 3 more here. The reason why I started because we are going to come back to this point, we are going to end the round on this point, so that was why I started with chain 3 and 3 double crochet before moving on to the next. But moving on to every other V stitch, we are going to be placing 7 double crochet on every other space. Moving on to the next V stitch here, I'm going to count 3, 1, 2, 3, and on the next chain I'm going to go in with a single crochet, and I'll move on to the next V stitch here with 7 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our shell stitch is coming together. So I will move on to the next chain 7 here, and I will count 3, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th chain here go in with a single crochet, then go into the V stitch with 7 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is what you're going to be doing all the way around till you get back to this point where we started from. So when you get to the chain 7, you count 1, 2, 3 and place a single crochet on the 4th chain and move on to the next V stitch with 7 double crochet. So that's just it basically for this pattern, and this is what we'll be working with, the V stitch and then the 7 clusters of double crochet. So that's everything you need basically for the shell stitch pattern. So you're going to do this. So we have 4 here. I'm going to place 3 more to give me a total of 7 double crochet in that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have 1 more left. I'm moving on to the next. I'm going to count 3, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th chain here we go in with a single crochet, move on to the next V stitch with 7 double crochet. So that is it basically for this part of the skirts and for this row. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to be doing this all the way around till you get to this point. So when you get to the chain 7, you single crochet into the 4th chain and move on to the next V stitch with 7 double crochet. So basically that's all you're going to be doing till you get to the point where we started. I will meet you at this point. So I'm almost at the end of the 2nd row, so I'm just going to go into the chain 7 here. So I'm just going to count 3, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th here I'm going to go in with a single crochet. And moving on to the first space where we started from, I'm just going to go into the space with 3 more. Remember we started with 4 double crochet, so I'm just going to start with 3 more, 2 and then 3, and I will go right into the chain 3 that we started with here at the top with a slip stitch to end the round. So I have successfully ended the round, and this is what it should look like at this point. So basically that's all we are going to be doing. Basically we are going to be repeating the first row and the 2nd row all the way till we get down to the length we want. So moving on to the next is we are going to be repeating the first row here. I'm going to chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll go right into the point where our chain 7 is connected with a double crochet to create our first V stitch. So we've created our first V stitch here, and moving on, I'm going to chain 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and I will skip whatever is going on here, and I will count 3 stitch from the 7 double crochet cluster of stitches here. 1 2 3, and on the 4th here I will go in with a V stitch. So I'm just going to go there with 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet. So basically it's just repetition of what we did on this row here. So you're going to repeat it here, because this pattern basically is the V stitch and the 7 clusters of double crochet. So that's just it basically for the shell stitch pattern. So moving on, I'm going to chain 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and I will yarn over, and I will count 3 stitch from the 7 clusters of double crochet. I will count 3 stitch here, 1 2 3, and on the 4th here I'm going to go on top of the 4th stitch there with a V stitch. Chain 3, 1 2 3, and go right into that same stitch with another double crochet. So basically that is all you're going to be doing. So chain 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and go right on the 4th stitch here. So you count 1 2 3 4, go right there with a double crochet, 1 2 3, and double crochet in that same space. So that is all you're going to be doing. So that is all you're going to be doing all the way till you get back to this point. So we'll get back to this point. You are going to be repeating this row, so you're just going to be interchanging the row as you go down the row basically. So that is all there is. So just continue doing this all the way till you get to this point. So I'm at the end of the 3rd row, so I'm just going to chain 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and I'll count 3 from our first chain 7 that we started from. 1 2 3, and on the 4th I'll just go in there with a slip stitch to end the round. Successfully ended the round. So moving on to the next, which is going to be our 4th row for this part of the tutorial. We are going to be repeating this row, right? So basically I'm just going to slip stitch my way to the middle of the chain. So I've already done that. So I'll start by chaining 3, 1 2 3, which is going to count as our first stitch, mind you, and I'm going to place 3 more double crochet in the same space. 1 2 and 3. Moving on to the next, I'm going to count 4, or count 3 basically, 1 2 3, and on the 4th here you go in with a single crochet, just the way we did on this other round, and move on to the next V stitch here with 7 double crochet. 2 3 4 5 6 7. So basically just a repetition of this. So that's all we are going to be doing for this row. So when you're done with this row, you know the next row should be the V stitch row. So that's all there is basically for this tutorial, or for the shell stitch pattern. So you're just going to repeat both rows at interval. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So yeah, so basically this is all you're going to do all the way till you get back to this point. When you get to this point, you switch to the next pattern or the next stitch, which is the V stitch. After the V stitch, you do the 7 crochet stitch and keep interchanging both stitch. So it's basically the repetition of this stitch and this stitch. So that is all you're going to do till you get to the point where you think is okay for you to place a divide for the slit. So I did a total of 14 rows. Actually, I count my rows in pairs, like this is row, this is 1 2, so that's how I count my row. But if you want to count it individually, 1 2 3 4, so I did a total of 14 rows if you're counting it individually. But if you're counting it in pairs, like 1 2, like each how will I say this, each shell stitch counts as one row, right? If you're going to count that as one, then you need a total of 7 rows. But if you're going to individualize the rows, like 1 2 3 4, then you need a total of 14 rows. Basically, it depends on you what you think it's okay to fit into whatever you desire before placing the slit. But I did a total of 7 rows that I'm counting in pairs, like I've explained. So I did a total of 7 rows before I placed my divide. So you're just going to continue this row and this row. So continue doing both rows till you get to the point where you feel it's okay for you to place a divide. I will meet you at my 7th row. So I'm at the 7th row, 14th row, it depends on how you're counting it, but I used to count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That means 2 of this is actually 1 row, right? So I'm at the 7th row, and this is the point where we place a divide. So I have not ended the row yet, so I'm just going to do that now, and I will be placing a divide alongside ending the row. So I'm just going to go right into the same space. Remember, we started by placing just 3 with a chain 3 here, so I'm just going to go right there with a chain, with 3 double crochet rather. So that's 1 2 and 3, right? So we have placed our divide. I'm not going to go right on top to end the round, just what we've been doing. Sorry, I'm just going to end things here like this, and I will start a new whole row. So this is where our divide will start from. So I'll be starting a new whole row from here, right? So the next thing I'll do is I'll count 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then I'll turn my work. Sorry, this is a little bit tricky. Turn my work just like so, and I'll go right into the next shell stitch here with a V-stitch. So yarn over, count 7, sorry, yarn over, count 4 1 2 3, and on the 4th here I'm going to go right there with the V-stitch. So yarn over, 1 double crochet, chain 3 1 2 3, and go right into that same space with another double crochet shell stitch. So this is what we are going to be doing for this row. So you chain 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, yarn over and count 4 stitch. So this doesn't count as a stitch because this is like a chain 7. In case you're confused, let me explain. This is a chain 7 on this row, so this is not a stitch. So the stitch we are counting is the double crochet stitch we placed inside the V stitch, right? So I'm going to count 4 rather, 1 2 3, and on the 4th here at the top I am going to go in there with a V stitch. 1 chain 3 1 2 3, and go in there with a double crochet. So this is what we are going to be doing all the way. So we are going to do this all the way till you get
I'm at the end of the row, so I'm just going to chain 4 1
I will meet
2
you when you
3
are at this
4
point,
and I will go right on top of the very first stitch there with a double crochet. So you're going to be ending with a double crochet, and you start a new row with a chain 7. So that's basically it for the divide, or this part of the tutorial, all the way down to your ankle area, or to how long you want the length to be. So moving forward, I'm just going to chain 7 to begin a new row, and I'm going to turn my work. You know, we are doing back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. So you're going to turn my work and go right into the very first shell stitch there with a shell stitch. So you go right there with 7 double crochets. Then I'll go right into the chain 4, count 4, and go right into the 4th chain with a single crochet. 1 2 3 4, and I'll go right there with a single crochet. So basically just a repetition of everything we've been doing, just that this part of this tutorial, the skirt, we are trying to create a divide or a slit. So that's the only twist right now, but every other thing remains the same. So it's only when you get to the slit area you will end your row with a chain 4 and double crochet into the last, and then begin a new row with a chain 7. So basically we have placed our divide here. As you can see, this is where the divide is at. So we are going to be going back to repeat just this 2 stitch, the V stitch, and then there's 7 double crochet inside the V stitch. So this is basically the stitch we are working with all through the tutorial. So when you get to this point, so you're going to do this all the way. When you get to this point here, you're going to count for 1 2 3 4 and place a double crochet in the 4th here, right, and chain 7, come back and do your V stitch all the way. So basically that's it for this tutorial. So I'm at the end of the row for our divide. So I am going to count for, this is where our divide is at. So remember when we got here, we divided this point into 2 and we went right back here, and we are at this point right now. So I am going to count 4 and I'll place a double crochet in the 4th. I'm going to count 3 and then I'll place double crochet in the 4th chain here. So before I do that, you chain 4, 1 2 3 4, and then you count 3, 1 2 3, and on the 4th here you're going to be placing a double crochet. So this is how we'll be doing the divide. When we get to the end, you're going to count 4 and place a double crochet. So that's basically it for the divide. So we are going to be going back from here, and when we get to this point we go back, and when we get to this point we go back. So it will be back and forth basically for the divide, but every other thing remains. The stitch remains and every other thing, just a slight change in the on the point here where we place the divide. So that's the only difference. So we are going forward, we're just going to start by chaining 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and you turn your work. Turning your work is going to look a little bit tricky since you're going to be working from the back. So yeah, so the next pattern will be a V stitch pattern, a V stitch, basically 1 2 3, and your 4th here you're going to place your V stitch. So go back there with a V stitch, chain 3 and 1 more double crochet. You're going to chain 7 from here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and go into the next shell stitch here, 1 2 3, and on the 4th here you're going to place a V stitch. So that's all you're going to do basically. When you get to this point here, you end with a double crochet right here. As you can see, you count 3, 1 2 3, and on the 4th chain here you place the double crochet and go back again with the chains with the double crochet 7 in the under the V stitch. So that's all you're going to do basically till you get to the length you want, right? So do that all the way till you get to the length you want. I will be doing my all the way till I get to my ankle because I want it to be very long. So I'll be doing that all the way till I get to that point. Then I will come back and show you how to cinch our waist to give us a perfect fitting. So just keep on doing this all the way. When you get to this point, you chain 4 and place a double crochet on the 4th chain and chain 7, turn your work and go all the way right back to this point and repeat all the way. But we are going to be interchanging
but by now you should know what this whole tutorial or the pattern is about. So yeah, you should just keep doing that all the way till you get to the length you want. I will come back for the waist parts. Bringing in the previous skirt that I made, this is what I'm trying to explain. As you can see, this is where the, let me bring this closer, this is where the divide started from, though this is a little bit different because this was my first trial, so I had like an issue here, but never mind. And this is what I'm trying to show you right now. The edge should look like this at the end of the day. So you're just going to continue doing this all the way till you get to the length you want, and this was long enough to get right down to my ankle area. So continue doing what I just showed you all the way till you get to the length you want. So for the waist part of the tutorial, so we are going to be using a double crochet to work on this, and we are going to be using back post front post stitch to cinch the waist. So to begin that, you're just going to start by creating a slip knot, just like so, and you're going to pick the point here or anywhere you want basically, and go in with the slip knot we created and chain one, and go right back into the base of the chain one with a double crochet. So basically I'm going to double crochet all the way around the waist till I get to this point, but I am going to be skipping few rows. I'm going to be placing like a few decrease to cinch the waist. So to do that, you're just going to place random decrease. I'm just going to go right into the next stitch here with the double crochet, and into the next I'm going to go right in, yarn over, pull, and go into the next stitch here, yarn over, pull. I have 3 on the loop, so I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. So I have placed a first decrease there. So I am going to be placing random decrease, and I'm going to place it in a way that it's not going to be too tight, just random decrease randomly. So let's say I will place a decrease after every 10 double crochet stitch. So I have placed a first decrease here. The next time I'll be placing the decrease will be after the next 10 double crochet stitch. So this is 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And on the 11th I'm going to go right here, pull, go right here, pull 3 on the loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, place a decrease, and repeat same thing all the way around. So you're going to repeat this sequence all the way around till you get to back to this point here. So that's it basically for the reason. I'll come back to show you how to do the front post, back post. So just continue doing this all the way till you get to this point. So place a decrease after every 10 stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So do that all the way till you get back to this point. So this is a 10th. I am going to place a decrease here. So go right there, pull, go into the next, pull, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So that's all you're going to do all the way till you get back to this point here. So I'm back to the point where we started for our waist part. So I'm just going to go right on top of the chain we started from, the stitch we started from here with the slip stitch to end around. So the next thing we're going to be working with is the back post front post. So to do that, you're just going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. To chain 3, the next stitch here, I'm just going to go into the stitch with my hook from inside and come and pull out the stitch outward like this, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull, and then double crochet. So this is front post. So to make a back post, you're just going to yarn over and go in with your hook and pull your
stitch backward just like this, yarn over, pull, and double crochet. So I'm going to do that one more time. So for the front loop, you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch from behind, and pull your stitch forward just like so, yarn over and go right behind with your loop. You have 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. So this is for front pose, and for the back pose you're going to yarn over and go in with your hook like this and pull from the back, pulling your stitch backward just like this, yarn over, pull. You have 3 in the hook, 2 and 2. So that's how you do a front pose, back pose. So moving forward, you're just going to be interchanging. After front pose, you should know it's back pose. After front pose, you should know the next stitch will be back pose. So just keep doing that all the way till you get back to the point where we started from. So you're just going to do this all the way till you get back to this point. So moving on, the next part, as I'm trying to see how I can show you both ends of the skirt waist. So this is what it looks like. So moving on, we are going to end the second row for the waist part. So I am going to do this 2 more times to give me a total of 4 rows for the waist part. So then next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to repeat the row 2 for the waist part. This row we just concluded, I'm just going to repeat that row, but I'm just going to maintain the back pose and the front pose. So wherever there is a front pose, I'll place the front pose there. Wherever there's a back pose, I'll place the back pose there. So you're just going to do that all the way till you get to the height of the waist you want. I don't want my waist to be too bold or too big, so I'm just going to stick to 4 rows. So let me show you what I just explained. So I'll start by chaining 3, 1 2 3, and I'll go right on top of the front pose here. As you can see, this is a front pose. I'm going to go right there with a front pose and go right into the next with, which is a back pose, with a back pose, right? So that's what I explained earlier. So you're going to do that. So the next will be a front pose, and the next obviously will be a back pose. So that's all you're going to be doing for as many rows as you want for the waist part, but I did a total of 4. So if you can stick to the 4 rows, or you can go ahead and make more rows if you're not satisfied with what 4 rows will give you. So yeah, so you're just going to repeat this row for as many rows as you want for the waist parts. So you're going to do this. I'm going to do this 2 more times. After this row, I'll do 1 more row to give me a total of 4. Then I'll come back and show you how I did my strap, and that will be all for the tutorial. So I'm done with the waist part of the skirt. This is what it looks like at this point, and this is our skirts. See the length? Let me show you the slits. See what the slit looks like. So I hope yours is just like this too. So yeah, so what is left is to make the strap that will help us grip our waist together, or give us the fittings on our waist. So I'm going to show you how to do that for this tutorial, and that will be the end. But before you go, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and if you're a returning viewer and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, like and share this video so that YouTube can push this video to more crocheters that will want or find this tutorial interesting. I will really appreciate that. Thank you as you do that. So let's get the strap done. So I'm going to be doubling 3 strands of the yarn. So we have 2 here, so I'm going to double 1 more, and basically I'm just going to make a chain with a 3 strap of yarns long enough to go around my waist. So you're going to start by creating a slip knot just like so, and you make a chain long enough to go around your waist. So to do that, you're just going to make a chain. So just keep making a chain
So you're going to continue doing this all the way, long enough to fit around your waist. I'll meet you when I get the length I want. So this is my strap. I've gotten the length I want, so I'm just going to go around my waist with the strap, right? So you're going to look for the middle, the front parts, and then go right there with your long strap. So you're just going to lace it all the way randomly. So I'm back to the middle where we started lacing our strap from. So basically just a drawstring strap. This is what it should look like. So yeah, so this is our skirts, and I hope this tutorial was helpful. Like I said earlier, please subscribe if you're yet to subscribe, and like, share this video so that YouTube can push this video to more audience. I will see you guys in the next one.